Hi, friends. Welcome to Direct Impact Broadcasting. The network of growth and transformation presents SOS for Leaders, where your host, Taiwana Wilson, will be sharing leadership and personal growth strategies. Let's jump right in.
Hi, friends. Welcome to another episode of SOS for Leaders. I am your host, Taiwana Wilson. I am the founder and CEO of Trendy Elite Coaching and Consulting Services. On this episode of SOS for Leaders, we will be talking about one-on-one networking. I know that networking is one of the biggest things to do, especially if you want to accelerate your career. You need to meet the right people at the right places at the right time. And when all of those things gel, it makes it easier for us to move forward in our careers. But networking can be difficult. It can be difficult because sometimes you feel like, where do I meet people that I need to network with? Maybe it feels a little awkward, especially if you're an introvert. Coming up to somebody and trying to network with them it may give you a little bit of anxiety. And so I want to offer you 5 tips that you can use in your networking as you go forward. And these again are practical tips that you can use, practical strategies that you can use and implement today that will help you on your networking journey. As we know, meeting people at various places could be a form of networking, but it doesn't have to be. Not all networking has to happen at events. So it's not like you have to go to an additional 5 or 10 events and network to meet people. That definitely is a route to go, but it doesn't have to happen in that way. Some of the most effective networking actually happens over coffee meetings, or lunch. It could be you meet somebody at a local Panera or Starbucks and just meet and chat and get to know them a little bit for a 30-minute meeting or so. That is pretty effective. I've actually have met a lot of people that way. We've connected over social media. LinkedIn is one of my social media of choice, especially for professional networking. And I've been able to meet people for coffee at Starbucks or Panera just to get to know them a little bit better. I've learned some about them through their social media, but it just gives us a time to connect. And in those cases, it's a little less awkward because it's one-on-one. It's you finding out about them and them finding out about you. So, and it can happen in that live environment, or you can actually do a virtual one-on-one kind of networking connection. I've done this as well, where I've met somebody on LinkedIn, and then we decided we were going to have a virtual Zoom meeting or conference call, and we did a 30-minute call to figure out what they were doing in their business, what I'm doing in my business, and ways that we can mutually benefit or work together or collaborate with each other. And so that was very helpful too, because it was very strategic. We set up a time, there was no distractions. And so it allowed us to get to know each other a little bit better. So here's 5 tips that you can use to be more effective in your networking and to make it less scary. So we can take the elephant out of the room of going to these events that you may or may not be interested in, and really focus, especially if you like to have that one-on-one time and not really a fan of the events, then one-on-one networking is going to work out awesome for you. So, tip 1 is have a point to the meeting. So anytime you're going to network with somebody or meet with somebody, you need to have a point. What is the goal? A networking meeting is more likely to be effective if it's clear why we are meeting. Why are we here? Are you looking for a mentor? Are you looking for help getting a job? Are you wanting me to connect you with somebody? Do you want me to recommend you with somebody? Are you new in town and maybe you're just trying to meet people? But it's always good to have a point of the meeting. So when you reach out to the potential person and you want to have a meeting, a lunch meeting, a virtual meeting, have a point to that meeting. So I would say, hi, I'm Tawana Wilson. I wanted to set up a breakfast meeting with you at Panera. I just want to get to know more about what you do in your business and how maybe we can be of benefit to each other. And so I am in leadership training and coaching, and I strive to promote the next generation of leaders to give them the tools that they need to be effective in both their personal lives, professional lives, and in their communities. So that might be a pitch that I would say to somebody that I'm interested in working with, and I want to know a little bit more about them and what they do. So have a point to the meeting. Be strategic. So make sure you do your research on people that you're interested in connecting with. So if you know that you want to meet some senior leaders in your organization, make sure you do your research on them. Make sure you are connecting with the right person in which you want to meet. If you know that you want to connect with a senior leader, my background is healthcare, for example. And so I'm always trying to connect with other lab leaders, or I'm trying to connect with maybe operations. So I'm going to be specific in my research, especially if I'm trying to connect with an operations leader. I'm going to look and see, well, who in the organization is in those roles, who's in an operation role. And then I would see, who they are through my company directory. I would also look on LinkedIn and see what kind of information that I see about the person. So do your research to make sure you are connecting with the right people that you are looking for and who can help you reach your goal if that is the case of the meeting. Part of the point of networking is not just about the person that you meet, but the people that they know as well who can help you grow your network. So, maybe I want to meet my senior operations director because I want to meet some additional people that are in his or her sphere of influence, his or her circle. And so that's the way for me to know that circle is through them. So when you think of networking, don't just think of the person that you are networking with, but also think about their circle and how that may be of value to you and help you grow your circle. So be strategic about the people you want to network with. Also, make it mutually beneficial. It shouldn't be just about what you can get out of the relationship, but how is it beneficial to the person that you are networking with? It needs to be beneficial to them. What is it that you can offer? What can you bring to the table? Do you have special skills or connections that you can leverage? Do you have acquaintances or colleagues or experiences in common? So make sure that when you are networking with someone, make sure it's mutual benefit. Make sure you are bringing value as well. 4, respect their time. Remember, we're in a time and everybody's busy. Everybody's busy, busy, busy. So remember that the person made time for you out of their day, whether it was on site or virtual. So be respectful that and show up on time. Don't be late. Make sure that you don't hold the conversation so that they can get to know you as well as you are getting to know them. Don't go over the time. So if you set a 30-minute meeting, stick to that 30-minute meeting. So that way that you were on time, you started on time, and you ended on time. So that way it shows that you respect their time, you respect them as a person. And make sure that when you do meet with them, give them your business card. That's fine to give them a business card, especially if it's somebody that you may not have known very good, or maybe it was somebody you met off of LinkedIn or another social network. Give them your business card, but especially if it's a one-on-one networking and you are networking with them about a job. Don't go bring in your resume at this first meeting. Give them your business card, establish a relationship, and that will come the need for a resume or anything after that. Number 5 would be remember to be polite and follow up. So you want to be polite during the meeting and you want to follow up within 24 hours, at least with a brief email of letting them know that you're thankful for them taking the time out of their day to talk with you. I'm big on cards, on greeting cards, thank you cards, so a handwritten note. I would probably send a card in the mail to their office. I use a pretty cool program that allows me to send cards to people, custom cards. So I would probably do that because that's what I do. But whatever works for you, then you should make sure that you follow up within 24 hours or so. And if you committed to sending them any kind of articles, any kind of books, any kind of anything, then you need to make sure that you follow up and provide that information in that correspondence. So those 5 key tips that'll help you at least get started with your one-on-one networking would be to have a point to the meeting. So you want to make sure that it's clear on the reason that you're meeting. 2, be strategic. So do your research. Don't just meet for the sake of meeting. Make sure you are meeting with people that you really want to connect to and connect with. There's no point of just out networking just for the sake of networking. So be strategic. Make sure it's mutually beneficial. It's not all about you. What can the other person gain from being connected with you? So whether it's your special skills or your connection or your experiences. So what is it? What's in it for them, to make it a mutual benefit? You want to respect their time. That's number 4, respect their time. Make sure you show up on time. You keep the meeting to the said time, whether it's 30 minutes, an hour. And then you don't want to hog up the conversation because, again, this is an opportunity to get to know them. They get to know you. And 5 would be polite and make sure you follow up. So you want to make sure that as you wrap the meeting up, make sure you thank them for meeting with you. Follow up with a thank you, an email, the greeting card, handwritten note, whatever, is a method that works for you. You want to make sure that you follow up. And if you were thinking, okay, where do I get started? Where do I even get started connecting? You can actually get started practicing this one-on-one networking with your colleagues. That's a sphere of influence that you already have. I'm sure you have colleagues that you've not gotten to know very well yet. So this is an opportunity where you can just set some time and get to know one of them. Pick somebody that's on your team that you might not know very well. And what you can do is you can use your lunch break. So maybe invite them to lunch. I know myself, sometimes I get busy working and I work through lunch and I'm eating lunch at my desk. And sometimes I'm missing out because I'm not taking that opportunity to sit and meet with some of my colleagues and just get to know more about them. So that could be one thing. You can set up a 30-minute lunch with one of your colleagues and just get to know them a little bit better. Start with that. You can also participate if you do like events. You can participate in after work events or happy hours or farewell parties, because these again are opportunities for you to get to know people, get to network and connect. Those things are not necessarily the one-on-one, so you're not going to get that personal time. But what you can do is you can, like I said, meet for lunch. So those are 5 quick tips that you can start using in both your professional and personal life of networking and meeting some new people. So I look forward to bringing you another amazing podcast. Have an amazing day.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of SOS for Leaders, where Tawana shared nuggets of wisdom that you can use to win in life. Follow her on Facebook, Instagram, and connect on LinkedIn. And remember, the secrets of success in your life resides inside of you. When you know what your strengths are, you can utilize them to live an impactful and influential life.